All right, 11 o'clock. Nick, you good to go or you need a minute?
No, we're good to go.
Do you have any announcements or do I get to go right into my fun thing?
Yeah, one announcement. Let me share my screen one more time here. I should say the usual announcement though first, which is that for anybody that hasn't heard this the last couple of times, if you're new to the workshops, first time, the exclusive print discount for automated fulfillment is going through the end of the month. Okay, so and then we're looking at extending it through Mother's Day, but you get an exclusive print discount if you're connected to Bay Photo or Graphic Dimensions. So take advantage of it. Obviously, we've been telling everybody to be running a sale right now, and if you want to buy any prints for yourself, the timing is great. Other than that, there was an update this morning, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. And if you guys, oh, where did I have that? I'm sorry. Right here. Okay. So we've been telling everybody, we've talked about like having doing some marketing and having a promotion around Zoom backgrounds, and that we've talked about America 2.0. The sales that are happening right now are in the home decor space and home DIY. That's why art is actually winning in this pandemic. If it, it surprised all of us, but that's what's happening. And so what we did is we created an office preview in the wall preview. We didn't have one because obviously the premise is that everybody that works at a company just moved into their new home office, right? And so we want to furnish those home offices with art and obviously any other room. So we added an office. And here it is, and that was updated today. So you don't have to do anything. You now have an office preview in the wall preview tool. And for those of you that don't know, you are able to add your own images. I do not recommend doing it. It's kind of a waste of time, and I can explain why that is later. But if you really feel passionate about it and you think it's worth your time to do it, you actually can customize any of these and upload your own images and backgrounds to make it your own. So I just wanted to mention that as well. But that's all I've got.
Okay. I'll start out with something light and kind of fun. One of the things I love about this job is we're all in the same boat together. We're all trying to get better at our marketing, and it applies as much for us at Art Storefront does for you guys in your individual art businesses. And so one of the fun things that we do and that I find is like, this constant pace of just executing and eating our own dog food. And we're trying to hack and crack Instagram, same as you guys are. We're trying to hack and crack live, same as you guys are. Sales, email marketing, all of it is we got to go out there. And as a result of just this rapid testing, we get to learn things and pick up new tricks. And then when we do pick up the new tricks, we get to share them with you. And a lot of times, the tricks are tactical and advertising related or hardcore marketing. Sometimes they're just fun. And when you figure out these new fun things, a great way to do it is to show people the fact that there are some fun things out there that you can employ in your marketing that will improve things, that will make you more creative looking, that will sometimes have a cat on top of your head, that you can use in your Zoom calls, that you can be professorial about if you like, that you could go to war with potentially if needs be. So this is this new thing called, look into my eyes, you don't need to do SEO. You don't need to do it. All right. So this thing is called, it's from—
Just leave those on the entire time.
Yeah, just
leave those on.
Leave them on the entire time. My kids get as much of a kick out of this as anyone else does.
Oh, my kids get such a kick out of that. I do that on my phone too.
Yeah, so it's really cool. So Snapchat actually released this, and I'm trying to find it. There's one with like this tiger one with laser beams coming out of my head that I think is awesome. Now I can't find it. Anyway, it's a new bit of technology from Snapchat actually, and like these things have existed for a while on the phone capacity, but they now actually exist in a computer. And so you can do this. It's free. It's totally free. So Marco, the link is, it's called SnapCam. And I just Google it and confirm what the link is, Marco, and then get into the show notes. but it essentially, like, all of you guys are on this chat in your normal camera, right? And so you can add this thing as a layer and you can play around with it. Not only is it like great for kids and fun, but anytime you're on a Zoom call or anytime you're on any video chat, you can just pull this thing out in the middle of nowhere and you can have a parrot party. But you can do this, and it's just a simple, fun way to be creative. You know, in addition to just being cool on Zoom calls, I think one of the ways that I might consider leveraging it is actually in some creative marketing. Like, you know, you can record these Zoom calls, or you can even just record your webcam and you can change these things on and off, and, you know, really just kind of have some fun with it and figure out some creative ways to market with it. So it's totally free, totally awesome, totally easy. And I just wanted to show that off. Thought it was kind of cool. So there you go.
All right, let's get into it. So let's state want to state the ground rules real quick on how we move through.
Yeah, we keep trying to get better. You know, the consensus and talking to everybody is, you know, everybody's got questions. They want to get them answered. Everybody wants equal time. So again, it's on me to really like chop things down. It's really hard to do. And like, especially everyone that's on these calls knows how exhausting these calls are. So after about hour two, Nick and I start getting a little bit, you know, sideways. And then the next thing you know, some of these calls, some of these individual questions are going on for like 10 minutes. And so I'm just saying, I don't have it all figured out yet. I'm doing the best I can. If I mute you, I'm sorry. We really just want to keep it going. But on that note, I'm ready to get started. Nick, you good?
Yeah. The last thing to say is, like, we're trying to limit it to 5 minutes per. Mm-hmm. So if you have 2 questions, then have your questions ready to go, and try to save any background information that might delay, you know, that time period. But if we get past that first or the second question or the time, Pat's going to mute it and move on to the next person so that they can get, so we can keep things moving.
Yep. And anytime there's feedback, you know, don't be shy. We're all in this together.
Yeah, exactly. And if you are here for a site audit, we're trying not to do technical site audits here. We're trying to keep it more high level business and marketing coaching, strategic. So if you need a site audit, we are doing those every Wednesday in the Wednesday workshop. That's where those are happening. And in fact, there was a great session yesterday, and it's recorded. And so I sort of feel like if you literally just watch the first, you know, 20 minutes of that, you're going to know exactly what to do with your site, because it's all the advice is just, it's all repetitive at this point, you know? Yeah. So you could do that. You can self audit, but if you want to wait, you can go to the workshop next Wednesday.
Yep. All right, let's jump into it. Stephen Cruz, you're up first. Go.
Okay, I have 2 questions. One's on the Instagram Live. Another one's on the Instagram influencers hand to hand. Mm-hmm. The Instagram Live is just, I turn on my Instagram Live. I have a piece of work on the fence, like I'm doing the backyard gallery, like I've explained to you. Mm-hmm. And I end up kind of vamping for 20 minutes and nobody comes on. It ends up in my stories. I still put it on the stories, but it's kind of a few awkward, like, you know, dead space and, you know, so, and I mean, have you guys developed more tradecraft on that I could look at? I mean,
I just don't think that it's just something that you're doing now that you're just kind of getting used to, but it's just, you know, you're building the muscle, you're building the habit, but just do it every once in a while. You don't have anybody on there. If nobody's really watching it yet, you don't have the following yet. Like, you're just creating content, you know, for yourself and for your audience, like to build up your profile. You can, you know, and then ultimately download the videos. You can email them out, you know, add them to a YouTube channel if you want to, but yeah, it's not that big of a deal, you know?
Just keep doing it.
Yeah. The perspective too, Stephen, is like, dude, you've been at this for 2 weeks, man. You're not gonna be hitting home runs in 2 weeks. You know, you're in the bush leagues still. You're in the bush leagues. We're in the bush leagues. You got to learn. You got to just keep shipping and getting better. You're gonna be vamped into an empty room. You know, I was thinking about this before the call earlier, and I was talking to one of these other artists on our platform, Matthew Locke, and he was talking about how he's got a big list of collectors, and most of his business is originals, and so he's been selling quite a few of them recently, much to his surprise. And I was teaching him something about a live, and you know, somebody jumped on the live, and I think I referenced this earlier. Anyway, I was teaching about the live and showing it to him, and somebody came on the live and was like, how much of your success do you attribute to Art Storefronts, to Matthew Lockett, right? And this is a guy that's been social marketing, okay, for 10 years, hardcore social marketing for 10 years. He's got 66,000 followers or something, or 45,000 followers on Instagram. He's got a huge following. 8 to 10 years he's been at it to get that big following and get that thing going. So
Okay.
you have to have the perspective of how long it takes to start getting good at this and really building a following and really starting to make traction. And it sucks in the beginning. You learn, you stumble, you're playing to an empty room. You're not getting anywhere, but guess what? You're just getting started. So I think the perspective piece is critically important for all of us. It really is. But go to question number 2.
I'm actually, this is the hand-to-hand. I'm on number 85 of the influencers that I contacted. It's a surfboard shop on the North Shore of Oahu. This guy that sells vintage surfboards, like going back to the Bolt days and different. And he replied to me, I'd like to do something with you. I mean, it was, but I came back to him with a full on, okay, I can do a commission for you, right? Paint whatever person, like we've discussed, on your surfboard, right? Maybe it's Jerry Lopez or whatever, and you guys can, I'd have it for you for your surfboard shop. You could hang it there, and then we would do a print giveaway with that painting. You know, I didn't go to the give one away with a surfboard sale yet. I mean, I'm saving that. But did I give them too much? I mean, that was like yesterday before, and he hasn't gotten back to me. And it's just, I'm worried that, you know.
Again, it's like, I think you're over worrying about the smallest things, right? Like, you kind of need to just, you're doing all the right things, right? Generally, but you kind of need to I like the fact that you're over delivering for you got to get something to happen, right? And then you can start pulling back. You know what I mean? Like oftentimes I tell photographers and artists that are just starting out, they're like, well, you know, I'm worried about my price. And I'm like, just go sell something. You literally have never sold something, right? You're not worried about making this maximum profit margin on your very first item sold, right? Or in your case, the first time you're just getting some traction, you know, with one of these influencers or something like that. And so I don't mind, make it happen. You'll learn from it. And then after the fact, you're like, you know what? I kind of gave him too much. I've got this now. I'm going to go to the next guy. And so I think you really, for you, Stephen, you keep going for you want to do this for the next 3 months, right? On executing all these things, and you'll learn. I mean, we'll guide you, but ultimately you're going to learn yourself, right? And you can't do anything wrong. It's hard for me to say, yeah, you gave it too much, because I really want you to get one of these things going, because then it's going to really click for you, and you're going to experience it in your own way. And you know exactly what you said to the guy and how you approached it, you know? And I think after that, you'll just keep refining to a point where you've got a system down and it's working perfectly for you.
Yep. You're just overthinking it. You just need to keep executing and remember the perspective piece. Always the perspective piece. Gretchen, you're up. Go.
Oh, hey, sorry. I was writing it in the chat because I was just commenting on that. What he said. It's just a story. It's like selling in a gallery. I mean, I've been in galleries, and the big night I sell is opening night. Mm-hmm. When I'm there to talk to them face to face, and 100,000 people walk by and I sell 1 or 2. The rest of the month I might not sell any. So it's like that multiple people going by. But that's not my question. And by the way, Messenger Kids does that. The same thing. I do that with my granddaughter with that, what you did at the beginning.
Yeah.
Loves it.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. This is a quick question on coupons. And I'm doing a shop online live event with about 20 vendors from across the globe. We've got a gal from France. And so I was going to offer a coupon just for those people who tap into that Zoom call during the 6-hour event when I'm on part of it. And so that they could get that coupon. Can it double up on top of my Mother's Day coupon too?
No, it shouldn't, but you'll definitely want to ask the technical support people about that. Hey, actually, Marco or Steph, can you guys get an answer and pop it in the chat down here?
Okay. I don't mind if it does. It'll just, if it is, because it's like I have a 15-20 minute slot that I'm going to go, and then the next vendor will come on, and the next vendor will come on, and I'll be showing my stuff. And this is going to go through 20 vendors over 6 hours this Saturday.
So you're
And
doing it. So everybody understands, you're doing a Zoom call like we're on right now.
Yes.
And you're inviting these vendors. What kind of vendors are they?
Well, they're a friend of mine up in Arlington, Washington started it all. And we've got vendors from photographers, craftsmen. We've got a gal from France who does work. We've got stores that are coming on. And so
I love
each vendor, yeah, Monica is brilliant when it comes to this kind of stuff. So it's each vendor will have 15 minutes, and Monica is going to moderate, and we're going to have a raffle giveaway, and she's going to answer chats, and then we're going to sell right there, show things and sell, tell what we do, and then advertise our sites also. So I'm thinking about offering a special deal for those people who come on just then. And I also have a Mother's Day sale going on. And I thought, well, I could either give one thing for the people on, or I could give a thing that says, boy, if you buy now, it'll add on to the Mother's Day.
Yeah, you could. I mean, I don't think that's the way it'll work, because I think I think it is one coupon at a time.
Okay.
But just give them their own special coupon.
Yeah.
That's better than the Mother's Day. Like, hey, you'll notice I'm running a Mother's Day sale right now, but you guys are getting, you know, extra special love. You get an extra 5%. You know what I mean, or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they won't have to worry about typing in 2 coupons. They just have one. It gives them the amount, and it's less complicated.
Yeah, it'll be, this is the first time we can have put it together. We've been on calls all weeks putting it together, but Monica came up, and I've seen a couple other sort of like this, but not to this extent that she's done. So
Are you gonna record it? Are you gonna record it?
Yes, we will record it, and I'm gonna have my QR code for my website, and I'm gonna plug Art Storefronts and all that stuff in my site and all those kind of things. And
referral fees. We love it. Will you share that with us though? I think people would love to see that. I'd love to see how that goes down myself.
I would love to see it too.
You want me to put it in small wins?
Yes.
The link. It's it's shoponlinelive.com.
And well, even after you record it, like
sure. Yeah. I'm sure it's going to have some glitches because
don't worry.
I mean, Monica and I are both really comfortable with Zoom because I've done it for a long time, but we've got like 18 other vendors
the more glitches, the happier I'm going to be. And I'm dead serious with that, because you know our mantra, just ship it. Everybody's way too worried about making everything perfect. And that's what stops you from doing hundreds of different things that you should be doing all year long from a marketing standpoint.
Yeah.
So you just ship it. And one of the great things about like being live and like doing live things like that is that there's just an understood, we're not going to be perfect. Like, I'm not going to look perfect. I might say something wrong. I might do something wrong. And it gives you, you know, a lot more freedom to not have to worry about perfection. Right. I think there's also a lot of, I don't know how you would say it, Pat, like whether it's connection or with the authenticity, you know, like it's just, we're being real. Everything is so manufactured in this world, manufactured commercials, manufactured like perfect website videos. You know what I mean? Like people make these perfect website videos that are full production. And I think it's so inauthentic these days. And I think authenticity is going to win.
There's Jasmine Starr has a quote. She says, perfectionism is just procrastination in disguise. Yeah. You know, and it's true. You try to get it all perfect. I know it's like, oh, one more thing. So nope, you know, it's, as my grandma always said, a man on a galloping horse isn't going to know the difference.
Yep. Love it. And you know,
all right, guys.
If you're not embarrassed by your first version, you've launched too late. We love that one too.
And by the way, something that is not relevant right now, obviously because like the galleries are closed, but like the concept of doing a Zoom call, a Zoom conference, and getting retailers, galleries, or even interior designers, and you know, having this big event where you're going to have them on there, and then you do like a showing, like that's going to be that's interesting for the future. We'll just have to put that in the back of our heads.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But also, as you were saying last time, get your collectors now, right? If you have collectors or you have people who really love you, hey, I'm going to do a live Zoom call at 11 a.m. on Saturday. I'm going to go through all my art pieces, right? And I'm going to have, you know, a great sale for anyone who attends. It's exclusive to anyone who attends. I mean, there's amazing stuff that you can do with that right now.
Yep. Tammy, you're up. Go.
All right, guys. I was going to ask you this question the other day, but I had to leave because I was having a one-on-one marketing meeting with someone, and that's what I've been doing a lot of right now, and it's been working out. And one of the things that I noticed, contrary to my question last week, is everyone that I've been speaking to has said they want the artwork framed, and they vented about the fact that they don't have to go to the store. So
That's so funny.
yeah, so I just like other companies, I'm listening to the clients and I'm doing basically what they want. That being said, I've been doing a lot more of Instagram TV, IGTV, the live thing, whatnot. I'm getting very comfortable with it. I have no qualms doing it. I even posted an image of my haircut, which surprised a lot of people, but it's cool. I'm good with that. My question to you guys is this. Is there a, please don't count this question as dumb, and I'm not trying to be anal,
Never.
but I think
Never.
I am. Which would you think is better in between the IGTV and the IG Live? I like the IG, and let me explain where I'm coming from. I like the IG Live because it's spontaneous. I can say whatever I want to say, be myself, and case closed. IGTV, I think there's a lot of editing, and I control what I put on that. But do you suggest for artists to use one more than the other, number one? And number two, how long should the IG Live last? Because I know IGTV, as long as it's more than a minute, that's fine. And it shouldn't exceed 10 minutes, I think. But how long should it last? And which one do you think is better, or does it matter?
Well, so we still need to do that playbook. And so, hey, Marco, let's make a note for an internal note about this. Taylor and Chris, this is one of those ones that we want to get out when we do the IG Live playbook. But Temi, so what you can do is you can do both in one swoop, right? So you do the and that's what I would recommend. I would do the live, and then you share it to your story. And then there's a tool that you can use, it's a Google Chrome extension, and we will put this in the playbook that will allow you to download the video, your live video, and then you upload it to IGTV. So you're done. You're doing both in one swoop. So it'll permanently,
it's up to IGTV. It also goes into your Instagram feed. We need to feed this thing and get it out.
We're going to have this next week.
All right.
We're going to have this next week. Temi, you're always pushing the boundaries on our playbooks. I love it. We have 2 different playbooks that are in the queue that we absolutely need. And you've mentioned them the last few times, the hand-to-hand combat playbook and this one. So we're going to get these done by the end of next week.
Yeah. And Ann Saylor says if the IG is too long, you can't share it to IGTV. Yeah. You have to chop it down. Very minimal edit.
But that's an hour. Yeah. Nobody's going to be doing live for an hour. So just stay under an hour.
No, I think some of them are already when they're doing the live painting. So.
Yeah. So just watch the hour at the hour mark. Okay. Otherwise you'll have to edit it, but that just wastes time. I would try to not have to do that.
Yep. Okay. Carol, you're up. Carol Walker.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, how are you? I can't figure out how to get the video back on. Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. No worries.
Okay, great. Can't figure out how to get the video on, but whatever. Okay, here we go. Okay, awesome.
Yep, there we go.
We're good. So I just joined. I have my website up. I've had a business selling my art for 20 years. Been selling it online for 12. I have a huge social media following, and I'm actually posting daily. So I'm not starting from the beginning. So what I wanted to ask you was, where should I be concentrating my energies at this point? The main reason I got the Art Storefront site is that I wanted to have all those features that you guys have.
Mm-hmm. Have you started following the art marketing calendar?
I'm just right now setting up the first giveaway.
Excellent. So in your case, the art marketing, with established presence and all that stuff, the art marketing calendar is going to be just money for you. It's going to be awesome. So I would execute on that right away and just start. Okay. Yeah, I would do that and do.
I don't have to go find influencers. I'm an influencer. I have 1.5 million people on my Facebook pages. So that's not where I need to concentrate my energy. So that's what I'm asking.
Yeah. So, the Facebook and Instagram strategy is a way to grow your sales.
Okay.
So that's like, if you have your pool of customers, you got a fishing pole in one pond, and that pond is big, right? You built it and all that stuff, and that's great. If you want to expand way beyond that to double, triple, quadruple your sales, eventually you're going to need more leads in the funnel to eventually get them to become sales. But for right now, since you just launched your website and you have a following, if you simply execute on the Art Marketing Calendar and you do the giveaways, you basically do everything that we're telling you, you're going to convert more of the people that you already have on your list and in social media with all of those tactics. And you're also going to amplify all of it too, because the giveaways on a regular basis, they encourage people to share, which gets more people to join your list. So it has its own growth mechanism and compounding mechanism within it. So I think for right now, like when I say right now, I mean like for the next 30 days, like just do that and then let's talk. Because if you're so happy with your sales at that point, just keep executing on the Art Marketing Calendar, right? Just keep going. And then when you're like, you know what, this is going really well, I'm ready to take it to the next level, then you might want to start thinking about marketing tactics that get you other fishing poles in the water in the ponds that you're not fishing in. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thanks.
Yeah. So yeah, you're doing your new website giveaway, and then there, you know, we're right in the middle of this. It's an interesting time because it's the Mother's Day. We're in the Mother's Day like push. So you might want to, you know, if you launch that giveaway and then like, you know, do a Mother's Day sale or something. Pat, you're muted, and so is she.
Yep.
Carol, go ahead.
Should I just leave? I still have the pop-up 20% off coupon coming up on the site. Should I just leave that for now?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
I would have it just match whatever discount you're giving away in the giveaway or for Mother's Day. Right.
Okay.
That's a very common question. Guys, anybody else that's listening to this, when like leave your lead capture tool on during a Mother's Day, or whether it's Black Friday, all times of the year, always leave it on, because you need to be collecting those email addresses. It's absolutely critical. So all you have to do is just change the language on it to say, you know, get the Mother's Day sale code or whatever, and read it, you know, and then when the whole thing's over, you just change it right back.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Awesome. Well, welcome, Carol. It's good to have you.
Okay, up next is Ben. And not Ben Think, I think it's just Ben. So Ben, go ahead.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Hey, Ben.
So I started my 30% off sale for the Zoom background, and it went really well the first couple of days. I had about 6 sales, and 2 of them were actually old black and white film photographs, which I really like.
Wow.
So
Go on, Ben.
I've been trying to read this this video you have on how to create an Instagram ad, and I got to tell you, I've watched this thing 4 times. I just think it's not a great video. I have to tell you.
All right, let's write that down, team. We need a new.
And I'm watching it. I'm watching it with my laptop also. So I have my laptop on. I have my iMac on.
Where is the video?
And was
it the visual quality?
No, it's just not flow. It's the way the person
follow.
presenting it. It's just not flowing nicely. It's a lot of like the person's waiting, and she's not really. The script is just not that great, and she's not. I'm not faulting her. It might be whoever did the video of it. I don't know who did it.
Done that.
I don't know.
I don't know, but
are you sure it was ours, Ben?
Oh, it's called it's right through from Art Storefronts.
Okay.
Could
Yeah.
you
So
link in the chat so we can see it?
if you could drop a link in the chat so our team can pinpoint that.
Okay.
And that would be awesome. But ultimately, you're looking for help on your Instagram ads.
Yeah, I'm putting that up right now. So I'm doing the I don't know if it came up or not. Yeah, it did. So I'm doing the promotions, and I've done 3 promotions already. So the first promotion, I just did everything automatic. I didn't pick the age ad or anything. Now I picked the age ad. I think we discussed this last. I picked like age 40 to 65, because to me, those are the people that are buying art. They have more money than young kids do.
Yep.
And I'm finding that most of the people I'm getting, even though they said they're going to try to find people that I want, I told them when I'm looking for curators, people that collect photographs, people that like urban photographs. I'm just getting like masses of photographers and artists. I don't want photographers and artists.
No,
I want people that want to buy art. Not that photographers and artists don't buy art, but that's not who we want.
Right. Not when you're paying for it.
Yeah, and how do we? I mean, it's not expensive. It costs me like $30 for 6 days.
Well, first off, Pat, isn't your resource on Facebook and Instagram ads that should cover it, right?
Oh yeah, covers all of it.
Because I'm seeing this link as a Loom video, I think from one of our support people. But Ben, have you seen it? Pat's like his whole thing on it. Pat, pull it up and let's screen share.
I'm going.
Wait. Don't show how you are searching for it too.
Yeah.
Like everybody needs to learn how to find these resources.
Well, this one's just on the blog, and it's sort of a hidden page. The way that we sort of.
It's not in the marketing vault.
I'm getting it right now.
Okay.
So that's part of the problem. Why we have to marketing team. Let's figure out why is that a hidden page? Why that resource needs to be somewhere. It needs to be in the vault.
Right.
I'm going to look in the vault while he's doing that.
And one last thing, is it advisable? I mean, if I'm doing a 30% off Zoom, I'm actually thinking of extending it.
Yes.
Another week.
Yeah.
So,
if anything ever works and you get traction like that, it's always a good idea to just extend it. Like, hey, this went so well, and I've decided to extend it for another week, right? To give everybody a chance.
Because I started it on April 16th, and the first 2 days I sold 6 prints. So to me, I haven't sold any since then, but I'm going to send out another email, like another week, extended a week, and that's thing. And I think that's a good idea. Extended a week.
Yes.
Okay.
Extend it through the end of the month, maybe,
Okay.
Because that's just a clean break, right?
Right. And nobody has to pay their taxes till the summer. So
yeah, you also could just extend it, through like the whole Mother's Day, like just, hey, it's Mother's Day and this went really well. And so, I'm going to just extend this as a Mother's Day promotion,
That's
and then
a great idea.
you run it right with the playbook,
Right.
all the timing.
That's a good idea. I like that.
Ben, while Pat's still pulling that up, question for you.
Yeah.
2 months ago, can you remind me where you were at? Because I remember, when you came to the first workshop.
That would be February.
Yeah, it was the very first one, and you came in and you're like, guys, I'm in New York, right? Aren't you in New York?
I'm in Manhattan. I'm like 4 blocks from the Metropolitan Art Museum.
Exactly, and it was long enough ago to where the pandemic wasn't a situation. You're like, I can't do any shows, right?
Right.
And did you have any sales at that point?
I had 2 sales.
You had 2 sales over how long?
Over a month period.
Okay. And
I opened up around towards the end of January. So I had a sale the first day.
Cool.
And then I had a sale like the 3rd week in February.
Yeah. So as you can see, it's April now, but it's like you're on the right trajectory. I love seeing.
And you have to take into consideration what's going on in the world now. I mean, there's a lot of people that want to buy stuff, but they're buying stuff that they really need, like food. So, I know it's going to take a while, and hopefully we'll get back. Manhattan is it's a good place to be if you're in quarantine. I don't agree with Texas opening up golf courses. I think it's crazy. It's going to come back, guys. I do work for hospitals. It's coming back.
Yes, it is. Okay, so here we got the resource.
Talking about that, yeah. I would literally watch all the videos in this page. I mean,
okay, I got it. Okay.
Really good.
So let's make sure that's in the show notes, Marco.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And Pat already put a link right there too. If you in the chat, if you want to grab that, Ben, and just bookmark it.
Yeah. Okay.
You're probably gonna want to, if you're getting into the ads,
we just need to
I would bookmark that. By the way, to answer your question too, like something you might want to try in the ads is like use the exclusions. Do like an interest targeting exclusion. And you can exclude like photographers, and and art and maybe painters or something, and anything like that. You might want to play with that a little bit.
But that's in the ads, not in the promos. The promos.
That's in the ads manager. Like when you're actually like in the ad set, you have to create an ad set.
Right.
When you're like, you have a campaign, you have an ad set, and then you have the ad, right?
Right.
in the ad set when you're doing the targeting, right where you're doing the H, it's right there. It says like interest exclusions or inclusions, right?
Okay.
And you could play with those exclusions to try to eliminate some people.
That's a good idea. Okay, thank you.
I would play with that. It's interesting when you get in there because you want to be careful not to do like photography because that's consumers who will want that.
Right,
But
right.
you'll find some terms that maybe only photographers will be like, in that interest group. And you're like, that's a dead giveaway, right? Like, I don't know. They like Rangefinder magazine. I don't know. Any of these like weird, maybe they're part of the Professional Photographers Association of America. That's possible. I think I've seen something like that in there.
But Ben, watch like all those videos will take you 45 minutes to watch, and they're good. And trust me, they flow. All right, Jerry, you're up next. Go.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm trying to set up Facebook to do ads, and I don't know what the benefit is, and if there even is a benefit. But I was trying to create a Facebook products catalog, and the tutorial. I cannot find any of the things on Facebook that the tutorial or that it says. For instance, it says go to catalog. Can't find catalog. Can't find e-commerce. None of that.
So I don't believe we're even set up for that, right?
We are, but what tutorial? This isn't our tutorial, right? Or is it a Facebook tutorial?
No, it's yours.
Is it this one that Patrick just linked in here?
No. The heading is how to create a Facebook products catalog, and it's out of the marketing vault.
Right. Okay. So you just searched and found that, right?
I don't know how I came across it, but yeah, obviously.
Okay. Because that's a very advanced thing. That's very specific for people. I don't think it's in any of our playbooks. It's just there for people who want to do that. Pat's course is exactly what to follow, and you don't have to do any of that stuff.
You mean what Ben was just talking about?
There's a better and easier way to do the Facebook ads. That is like, you do not want to go down that catalog route. It's crazy.
Well, I couldn't. So,
Yeah.
all right, answer my question.
Good to know though. Thank you for letting us know, guys. Let's make a note of that. Marketing team, something about Jerry. Can you just tell us though, what was the step that you got hung up on?
I muted him.
You remember?
He couldn't even get started. Period. So, right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's have somebody go through that thing and either take it down if you get updated.
Take it down. I don't see anyone using that, and it's way too far advanced. It's not been proven. I think it just needs to come down.
Okay, then let's go ahead and take it down, and let's make sure Pat's is in there, so that's what people are finding.
The podcast.
Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate that.
The podcast and all the videos. Okay, Ben Fink, you're up. Go.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Ben.
Good. I'm sorry. I'm like doing 4 things at once. I'm bringing your screen back.
All right.
I am doing like I said previously, I'm doing a lot of live chats, and it's kind of incredible.
Instagram Live, right?
Instagram Live.
Yeah.
And I am putting it in my stories, and I've been recording it on my phone, recording the screen.
iPhone screen recording, yes.
Yeah, and putting it on IG.
Right.
But I'd love to get this more streamlined. I heard you earlier saying that you're going to do this. Can I actually get that link? Because I'm doing an IG live almost every day with an artist, and we have 800 to
tomorrow, Nick.
1,500 followers live.
Yeah, let's do it tomorrow, Pat.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna do
the workshop on the entire Instagram live flow is now tomorrow. Done. That's how we move around here, Ben. Okay.
Awesome.
That's how we move.
Thank you.
And I would say big picture, I was reading about this a little bit earlier, and I should say, like, I have right to the left of my computer an iPhone that's plugged in at all times. The screen doesn't go off, and it just sits on Instagram. So it's 2 inches away from my face. It's why I'm jumping on everyone's lives. It's why you'll see me in the stats. I'm all over it. And you look at what's happening now. I used to constantly go into Instagram, and there would be nobody live at all. And then in the last couple of weeks, it started to change where my entire story bar at the top, as I'm looking at the phone, is all lives. And what warms the cockles in my heart is half of them are you guys, our customers that have started doing them. And I love that. And then the other half are the biggest whales in the photo and art industry, the biggest ones that exist in the game. And I see them doing it a ton too. And what's so interesting to think about is I see the big view counts that a lot of them are getting. And, you know, these are huge photographers, huge artists, huge directors, like take your pick, the big dogs. And, you know, they've got 1,000 or 2,000 or 1,500, 2,500. And I was saying to this Nick the other day, like, television and movies take a long time to shoot, a long time to edit, a long time to produce. The pipeline of that content is going away. It's going to be gone. They are not going to be able to fill it. They're not shooting. They're not creating new stuff. So the pace of new movies coming out, the new television shows coming out, is just going to grind to a halt, right? It just is, unless it's animation or something else they can do, you know, with social distancing. And so everyone is just fragmenting to all these new venues, these new places, to Instagram lives, to Facebook lives. And there is a piece of the audience there for everybody. And for a lot of people, it's going to be a very small piece, but that's still your piece that you can go out and grab. And they're really, really entertaining and engaging, and more people are doing them, and more people are watching them. So fantastic opportunity to just get all over it right now and start dominating it. So I love seeing you guys that are shipping them. You know, to Steven's point earlier, it takes a while to get good at them. Everyone's figuring it out. So just start shipping and don't overthink it. That's what I would say. Okay, Adriana's iPhone, you're up next. Go. Adriana, you there? Okay, Adriana, 5, 4, 3. We'll come back to you. I'll leave your hand raised up. Elizabeth Sheridan, go.
Hey.
Hey.
Okay. So I had a real quick question. So is there a way when you're doing these Instagram lives to be able to capture your screen and show your screen while you're doing it?
Yeah, so you flip the camera around and you show the screen.
Is that the only way?
The only way. That is the only way. That's for Instagram. On Facebook, obviously, you could share your screen if you were doing it.
Right.
Yeah, that is the
Okay.
only way.
Man, that sucks.
There is one additional scenario that's available, and I guess I can go into this tomorrow, but you can pre-record your screen. Okay. So you could pre-record. I mean, this would require some editing, but you could pre-record your screen. Okay. And then go into your editor, throw it into a 9:16 size, right? No, 16:9 regular horizontal TV, 9:16 the cell phone, and you can actually play a video that would go into your live. Believe it or not, and I'll show that. I'll show that on the thing.
Is it even worth it, Pat? Really?
I don't know. I like
think it is, Elizabeth. I mean, I'd rather having you do other things, you know. But like, you can go on Instagram and just use that tool for what it is, and then but on Facebook you can do what you want to do, right? So you can say I'm going live on Facebook right now, you know, and you know, pop a link or whatever to your Facebook page, like change your profile link on Instagram, and then go live on Facebook, you know, and do it. But you could do both. You can play with both, so that, you know, on one you're just doing a certain type of a content, and then on the other you're doing the other. That's kind of a great way of doing like the omni-channel, Pat, or like moving the attention around, right?
True.
Like, if there's something you really want to do that only Facebook can do, it's a great reason for the people to on Instagram to learn what you are doing on Facebook. It's like, follow me on Facebook, because you really want to move the attention around, you know? So it's a good reason to do that. It's not that bad of a situation, you know? Okay,
that's a cool idea. I hadn't thought of doing it that way. Yeah, because my thing is that, you know, as a photographer, I can't do like what is that Ann Taylor's doing at the moment. She's sitting there painting away. I can't do that on Instagram, right? So, because I'm a photographer. And so, I mean, unless I'm out shooting, right? And physically doing that. Yep. So when I'm on Instagram Live and I'm working on a piece, it's not nearly as physical. And so, you know, that, unless I can show what I'm doing, it doesn't come across real well.
I would literally get one of these little selfie stick things that I have that I bought on Amazon for $25. I would aim it at the screen and I would just talk about my process in Lightroom, and that's what I would do. Okay. And then, you know, one other thing you could do too, this is a little unconventional, but you could potentially, you know, this is probably not legal, but let's just throw it out there. You could be driving in your car on your way to work at NASA, show the NASA logo, say, by the way, I'm a NASA astrophysicist, and the security guard, and then shut it off. But look, I'm old fashioned that way. I'm old fashioned that way. So yeah.
My boss doesn't know I'm here talking to you, and I've got my NASA screen up on the other laptop. But
you know, I think you know, I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there. I love it. Okay, come to the thing tomorrow. If not, it'll be pre-recorded. Ann Taylor, you're up. Go.
Oh, hi. Good. I was referred to you guys to ask you the question, and it's kind of a time management thing. So I have a front end to my website, which is an old WordPress site, long story. And I threw it on, and then my career was so young, I had a million things to do, you know? Now I look, because of COVID, I'm at home, so I try all the time with marketing, right, to catch up. And they're starting to open up. I probably have to go back at May 15. So until then, what do you guys think? Should I use my time to, it will probably take a lot of time for me to get rid of that front end, move my blog, or should I rather just keep marketing like crazy? How important is it? Right.
I would stick with what you have probably at least through this whole Mother's Day and get past all of that so that you don't get any weird glitchy things going from like changing that all around. You know what I mean?
Yes, that makes sense too.
So that, like, because I'd rather have you just like really focus right now on the marketing and just executing on all of that to get as many sales as you can through the Mother's Day. Because after you run a big sale and then that's done, it's kind of like, you know, the steam has left, you know, the bag, and you have some room, you know, to like spend a week like getting that sorted out.
Yeah. And by the way, in terms of time management, I'm sort of not worried in your case. I mean, every time you jump on one of these things, you're listening and painting. I mean, I might call you up for some time management tips.
I feel like Anne's like, I imagine you, Anne's like, do you ever stop painting? Are you always just painting? Like you're on a call with a friend, but you're painting while you're on the call.
I do that too, but I have one day off a week.
So funny. That's so great.
Yeah. Well, you're killing it with the multitasking over there. Okay. Good question.
She just needs a camera following her around. She'll just have content all day long.
All day long. All day long. Okay, Valerie, you're up. Go.
Hi there. So I am kind of new. Started in January and then had a skiing accident. So I ended up focusing on that. So I have a couple questions. I'm a wild Mustang photographer. And I was wondering, would it be worth it to do an IG live for when I go see them and try to find them?
Oh, you better believe it.
Oh, yes.
Believe it would be.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. My other question is, should I do a giveaway at the same time in Mother's Day sale?
Yep. If you can handle it. If you can manage it, I would.
Okay.
I mean, I usually, what I like to do is I like to preload the giveaway right before the sale. And, you know, the analogy that I love using there is the design of the giveaway is to whip up a frenzy of attention, right? Yeah. And again, the analogy I use, it's like, okay, imagine you're the guy that owns the club, right? And the doors close at 1:30 and it's 1:30. And what's the line? You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here, right? And a bunch of drunks spill out into the parking lot. The sale on the back end of the giveaway was to pack the club, right? The sale on the back end of the giveaway is the burrito stand you move into the parking lot as all the drunks spill out, right? Because you have all that attention and there's your sale, you're ready to go. So that is what you do. It's a little 1-2 punch combo between the two of them that I love. Now that's already set sale because there's probably not enough time between now and then. But yeah, I mean, the giveaway is to whip up as much attention as possible. The sale, like I would say big picture, as long as you can have as many sales in the water. Nick and I have been going back and forth on this about whether or not you should just have a sale running 24/7 at all times. A new one to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. And the jury's still out on that. But
we're going to talk about that separately.
Yeah, okay. we need to like do a deep dive on that.
But another thought for you, Valerie, though, is that like you can easily just run with the Mother's Day stuff right now because that's just like it's super relevant. And then do is it the new website giveaway that you want to do?
Well, I'm not quite a new website anymore, but I never did the giveaway when
you're a new website because nobody knows. You're
Got
still a new website. So it's just a marketing tactic, right? So hey, I didn't get around to this, yet, but now but it's a perfect thing to do because you get so much action and attention for Mother's Day already that like just let that do its thing and then maybe wait a week after and then run your new website giveaway and you're going to like get double the action, right? Like, hey, I'm doing this now because I didn't get a chance to do it, but I'm celebrating the launch of my new website with all this amazing technology and da-da-da-da-da. And so boom, there you go.
Got it.
That's what I would personally do.
Okay, so my other question is, I do art shows, and I was on the video when you talked about the fishbowl technique, And I was wondering, when you get the emails manually, do you, after the fact, put them into your website? And if I do that, then do they actually still can get the 20% discount sign up, or should I just give them a separate thing? Because if I'm the one signing them in.
Yeah. If you're following the playbook, they put their name in the fishbowl, you give away the print to whoever it wins. Hey, sorry you didn't win, but here's a coupon code for a limited amount of time. So they would get hit with the coupon code regardless, because you're supposed to put all of those people into your ESP and then email them after the fact.
Okay, got it. Last question. When I'm a little concerned with the romance marketing, because I'm kind of that person. Like when I get too many emails from the same person, I get annoyed. So I'm wondering, am I doing the same thing to them?
No, you're not. Get over it. You can't email enough.
Got it.
Can't email enough.
Yeah, the annoying emails, you don't like those. You don't want those emails.
No.
You don't want them,
No.
But I'm sure when you were on our email list, you kind of liked getting the valuable content we were sending, maybe, right? And so it's like, we're all on the email list. Like, think about the email list you're on right now that are emailing you all the time and you don't even read them, but you stay on them, right?
True.
Like, that's your audience. They're going to do that. The other people are going to unsubscribe. And so we always say, don't ever worry when anybody unsubscribes. Let them get out of here. Like, they don't want to be on there, and send your content out,
Okay.
Did you, by the way, Valerie, did you see the workshop that we did on Tuesday and then last Friday?
I did Friday.
Okay. Okay. It's the same. The Tuesday was just a continuation. It was showing how to find the influencers and stuff. But since you said like the Mustangs, like we went over like how to find like bighorn sheep was somebody else's content. And anyways, just take a look at that, because you have such a specific niche that you should be able to get some great targeting going online while you can't do things offline. So I wanted you to see that.
Because part of the sales, I give 20% to sanctuaries that go to kill pens and buy them back.
Awesome.
Got it.
And while we're at it, I'm going to show it again just to keep training everybody. So Valerie, I'm going to show you and everyone. Let me just go to a back end. I'll just go right here. So if you just go to marketing resources and then art marketing calendar, if you don't have the art marketing calendar bookmarked, I always have it. Then you can go down and just find the day that I mentioned. So I said Tuesday. So that would have been the 21st, and I can click go to tasks. I can do the same thing for Friday. So you can go to Tuesday and you click there, and you'll notice at the very top, always in orange, the workshop stuff is always going to be in orange. So it shows what it was, that like what we kind of titled it. And then it shows what we basically covered. And if you click on this, click here for the full show notes, we have the video replay right here and all the show notes that we referenced during it. Okay. And you can do that for any of our workshops. We also have a general workshops page. Oops, I just clicked on that. If you go to the very top and you just go to the Marketing Resource Vault, like homepage, you see workshops. All the past workshops are here. Every single one of them by date. And we're trying to get more descriptive on exactly what they are. So you can see this is the one where we had Meg Knappenberger, the painter, came in, was doing some live mentorship. That was like 10 days ago. So anyways, that'll help you guys kind of find these things as we're doing them. And we're constantly working on our organization.
And let me know when you do that Instagram live on how you track down these wild horses. I would watch that. See, I would watch that. I would watch that content. All right, Maria, you're up. Go.
Oh, great. I feel like I'm dealing with a group of really sophisticated watchers. So I'm sorry if my questions take you back to earlier grade.
No problem.
No, not at all. Not at all. We're gonna have you through those grades right quick.
As a lark, I boosted an Instagram post and I was astounded to get hundreds of responses for $30 and 5 new people signed up on my website.
Nice.
So I thought, okay, maybe I need to take a look at this advertising thing and not just boost a random post. So I'm working on my first ad, and because my audience is smallish, I took my Instagram people, my Facebook people, and my MailChimp people, and all loaded those into the Facebook ad manager. still smallish. I wanted to do a group where I define the demographics the way I kind of anticipate my typical client being. And I'm wondering, should I throw everything in the same pot, or I should try to follow your directions for doing the A/B, the testing the two different groups with the same ad?
Yeah, I would start with that exact same page of Facebook videos that we talked about a little bit earlier and watch every single solitary one of them. It will save you a tremendous amount of
I'm
headache.
going to watch them again. They sink in a little slowly sometimes.
Oh, so you have gone through them?
Yes, but as I told one of your technical people one time, I don't hear as fast as you talk.
Yeah.
So
I've been hearing that.
We both tend to talk fast.
So I'm working on that. I have to replay things a few times, but I'm going to go do it again.
I think YouTube actually has a speed setting where you can go one slower. I'm serious. It does. You can go slower or faster. And yeah, for me, I've been literally, I could go into my parents' attic or wherever the heck they keep those boxes. You know, that stuff that you like keep at your parents' house forever, even after you're 40. That has like my stuff from like 2nd grade and kindergarten and 3rd grade, where the teachers were literally telling me, like, in all of my report cards and everything else, he needs to slow down.
Clearly you didn't need to.
Yeah, you absolutely can do it. It's on the settings icon.
Screen share.
I'm looking at it right now. So I'll just expand this. So when you're hovering over, you see this little gear icon down here. So you do that, and then you can go to playback speed, and it has the defaults here, but if you click custom, you could go like this. So that would be like half the speed right there.
Yep, good way to do it. All right, Carlana, you're up. Carlana, go.
Hi, I am a newbie. I started at the beginning of March, and so I've had my audit, and I've had actually 2 audits.
Awesome.
And it is awesome. And I submitted my link to my website to Small Wins and got some feedback. So I'm doing those corrections, and I'm getting ready to start doing the website launch. Mm-hmm. So here's my question. It's more about the sales tactics or the concept of the sales tactics. I have had my company for 5 years, and I've sold all offline. I specialize in custom art installations for interior designers and private clientele. I've never sold sales. I've never done a sale or a promo.
Oh, a discount.
Or a discount.
Okay.
And we purposely have stayed away from doing that because we wanted clients who really just appreciated the artwork in itself, and all of our clients do. So my question is, now that we have separated our custom work from my gallery, we've separated that so that if people want to come to the website and they see the gallery of my preset artwork, but they either are previous clientele and they want to do something custom, they still have that ability through our division. The gallery itself, we kind of struggle with the concept of doing a site-wide sale because we still want to keep the brand intact, but let me just see if you agree with this concept. What I decided I would like to experiment with and find out what you guys think is, what if we just do our promotions and promo codes with just the people that sign up as subscribers, and really do something special for those who have given us their prized email to keep in contact with them, and then just do promos and not do a site-wide. So if we have new people that are coming up, really what we're trying to do is get them to sign up for our newsletter and say, you're only going to have access to our deep promotions. We stay away from words like sale, and we stay away from words like discount. It really would be special events and special promotions. And that's where we are totally fine, doing up to maybe even like a 50%, doing up to maybe like a 50% sale for people who are previous clients of ours and those who have you know, kind of taken that little step towards us in giving us that email address as opposed to putting something site-wide on. What's your feeling about that?
You want me to take this one first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so my thought is I've got no problem with it. You're essentially just testing a new different type of strategy, and you'll just have to test it and see how it works. Like if you do it for like Mother's Day, you know, like that's what's going on right now. Then you can kind of see how it goes, and if you're happy with it, right? I mean, when anybody's placing an order, they're giving you their email address anyway. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, you know, is it, you know, are you overthinking it? Are you overdoing that? Right? Like, but I think in general, like another thing to think about too, Carlana, is the discount is an incentive, right? So sometimes you could come up with a non-monetary incentive that doesn't, you know, like the easiest thing to do is 20% off or something like that, right? But what if you did like a 2-for-1, or you have a throw-in, some sort of an item that everybody might want that adds value, that costs money, but you know, do you see what I'm saying? So the incentive is designed to get people to take action now. And you could potentially do something like that. I don't think it'll work. All of these things are not going to work as well, but they still could work. And if you're really concerned about this other company that is successful and selling well, and you don't want to disrupt that, then this is a way that you can do it, you know?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I would be totally interested in maybe coming up with different types of marketing techniques to accomplish that. And I know if somebody's purchasing with us and they give us their email, now they're in our subscriber list, then they would have access to future discounts, or they would have access to getting the promo. Like I think that when people first land on our page, we still have that sign up for our newsletter and get a 20% off promo code.
Yeah,
we're totally fine with that. I just don't necessarily want to advertise that without some sort of commitment, or
yes.
And then
okay,
I wanted them to feel special.
Yeah, I've got an idea for you. So you could, I think this is probably the best way to do it, is in your announcement bar. If you're going to say like, we're running Mother's Day sale, right? For you say Mother's Day sale for subscribers, right? And then, you know, 25% off. And then it's like, and then it gets, if you're not a subscriber, click here. And then it links to the page where your sign up form is, you know, because the lead capture tool actually has it's a page on your website. It's just hidden, right? But you can link right to it, and then they subscribe right there, and it'll email them the code. It'll also show it to them right on the spot. You can have when you're editing the form, there's a success message that comes up, like it darkens out the screen and it says you are now subscribed. You can modify that text so that it has your coupon code in there, so that they can see it right on the spot, and then they'll also get an email. But that way, that's the way that you can do it. So rather than just running a generic Mother's Day sale, or anytime that we're telling you to run a Black Friday sale or anything like that, you just say for subscribers, and then you make them subscribe.
Yep. And I think you can test both. Like, I understand your position where you're coming from, that you don't want to do it and like make a big announcement site-wide and all that, but you can test it and put it up for a little bit and take it down, because no one's going to see it. Not everyone's going to see it.
And then you can email out the code to your subscribers in advance, right? So that like they get it during, like, obviously everybody on your email list, you're just going to email them the code, right? But when they land on the site, what a lot of people do in the announcement bar, I think this is probably in our playbook too, it'll say like Mother's Day sale, use code Mothers2020, like for 20% off, right? So instead of publishing that, you're just going to hide that and make them subscribe to see the code.
Okay. And welcome aboard. Congrats.
Yes.
Adriana's iPhone. We're giving you another shot. Are you there, Adriana's iPhone? In 3, 2. Oh, Adriana, are you there? All right. Done. Allie, you're up next. Go.
Hey guys. Okay, so we talked before about how I'm switching to doing a lot of digital portraits, or at least trying to, from the initial pencil portraits I've been doing.
Have you sold any of the
And
digital ones yet?
I'm sorry?
Have you sold any of the digital ones yet?
Yeah, I've sold some digital ones. They're not nearly as popular as the pencil ones. People keep saying, they want something drawn by hand. And so I'm trying to put out there a lot of education. Like I am still holding a pencil. I'm still drawing this. This isn't photo editing. It's not photo manipulation. But it just seems like there's a huge block, which I can't tell how much of that right now is simply because of all the COVID, the pandemic, and people just trying to save money.
So nobody's deliberately said that they're like not happy with it. You're just not seeing like the response yet.
Yeah, like I opened up some pencil portrait spots a few weeks ago and they still sold out within 2 hours. But the digital portraits are not selling out.
I see.
Yeah, people there's not the response to the digital portraits as I get to the pencil portraits. So I've been trying to find ways to educate people on what exactly it is, because I have people who tell me, they say, oh, well, I got a digital portrait of my dog done from this one artist and it only cost me $20. And I go and look at it and all they did was edit a photo. And it's hard to explain. I'm still doing the same thing. It's just digitally.
But Allison, do you go by Allie? I guess we should call you Allie.
I go by both. It's
okay.
Both.
Right. Your name on here, it says Allie. So,
yeah.
So my question is, like, how different do they look?
They don't look hugely different. I personally love the digital. Like that's what I would hang on my wall, because I can get certain areas to look a lot, like I can make much smoother backgrounds than I can with a pencil.
Because I'm just sort of I'm sort of wondering, like, I mean, if I was buying one of those from you, like I've seen all your stuff, right? I'm like, would I even know? I mean, does it, like, are you kind of like putting the thought in their head? You know,
I'm trying to actually just take the thought away from pencil. Like I'm trying to just get people to stop even thinking about the pencil. So like now when I post them, like the only thing that really shows what it is I might throw out a hashtag saying digital art, or I might throw out a hashtag saying pencil art. But for the most part, all my hashtags are still about dogs. And I don't say anything in the description as to whether or not this one that I posted is a pencil or a digital. And people ask me, they say, is this pencil or digital? But like they're just not buying people.
There's a couple ways you could go. You could just not say anything.
Okay.
And
that's where I'm going.
Yeah, that's where I would go probably first.
Because it's just art. I mean, look, I'm a consumer, Allie, and I don't think the way that you're thinking about it. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, this is your art. Like if you start advocating the digital and then the other one I'm doing by hand, all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, wait, hold on a second here. So this one is like more like an original, and this is, but it like, I would rather you not, if they're not that different, it's just like, these are my portraits, right?
Yeah.
Now you could also have the digital ones just be your portrait, and then the other one is an upsell, but like maybe you talk about it a little differently. Like maybe it's not, the difference isn't digital versus pencil. It's like, I'm going to spend more time on it.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do, right? You spend more time on it on the other one, or like maybe there's some sort of way of calling it a premium version without being like, this is digital, which has a weird connotation with like,
yeah, that's the thing I'm getting. It's
a lot of time on it or something.
Yeah,
I don't want to put that in anybody's head, because it's the finished piece and what people feel about that matters.
Okay. It took me a while to kind of figure out also just how to create the options to sell, like what would be the best way to sell them, because I had the option, so what I did is I just set a base price, and that's just for me to do the work. And then I had so then you can add to that to get the digital file, or you can add on a print, or you can add on both as far as how people order them. So it was, and it may still just be, I need to play around with that some more, but if you have any suggestions on like sort of how to sell that.
Yeah, I would start by, until you get negative feedback from something that you shipped, I don't think it's a problem. So I would just say pencil drawings, whether it's a pencil or it's still technically a pencil in your hand just because it's drawing digitally. I would just leave it at that, call it semantics, and go ahead and do it that way. Additionally, if you did want to split it up and try to do like different price points, then let me tell you, like recordings of sped up a little bit of the whole process from start to finish, drawing that digitally, are super popular. People love watching those things. They would see how insane your process is. Zoom in, zoom out, release this, you know, all the pen mouse trickery. And you could show that, which I think would instantaneously probably establish the value a little bit better.
Okay. Yeah. See, I think that's that may have been where I was making a mistake, is I was trying to explain to people why the digital is still good or even better in some ways. And I guess I just need to just sell portraits, not sell pencil portraits or digital portraits. So
Exactly.
I have some work to do on the main page of my website then, because I was trying to really harp on digital. Okay, thanks. That's
So when you were asking about like how the other question about like how you're selling the digital file and all that stuff with it, like, does that still apply or does it not?
I mean, I am selling the, what do you mean? Like, I'm selling, I don't sell the digital file with a pencil. I don't.
Like, if you just start selling them as portraits, does that solve that problem that you had, or do you still have an existing?
I think so, yeah. Part of me just wants to take the pencil option completely off the table, because it's,
I mean, Allison, send me an email and show me both. I want to see both. I want to see if I can tell anything at all.
Okay.
Because I'm just a general consumer and I don't know anything, and I want to see if it means anything to me. And I will literally tell you in 2 seconds, like, this is not an issue. And if it's not an issue, then you're done with the other version. Make the one that's scalable for you, you know?
Okay.
And then now you can open up more spots, right?
Yeah.
And those are already sold out. So those are the ones you want to open up, and, you know, you'll make a bunch more money from it.
Yeah. And that's what I was hoping would happen, but people they just aren't biting it. So, and again, like, it's hard to tell, people just aren't biting right now because of the pandemic or not. But yeah, I thought they would go over a little bit better than they have so far.
Yeah. Hey, Allie, while we have you here, like, Pat and I were actually talking about this yesterday, and I'd love to get your 2 cents on this, because we were talking about how, you know, at Art Storefronts, how we don't, and I want all of our members to hear this that are on this, that we don't care what product you sell, what your art is, right? And like, people shoehorn us sometimes. They're like, you just want me to sell prints, and you just want me to discount, or you want, you know, like, I just want to sell originals only or commissions. And I think it's kind of cool because, you know, when we talked to you for like the first time, and the way that we advised you, and like, you happen to be one of the people that, like, you have this thriving commission business where you're selling out. And the first thing we told you was, this is what you need to be doing, and we're going to help you do it. Right.
Yeah, that was the really awesome thing. Cause I mean, you guys know that I had not really been paying attention even to Art Storefronts there for a bit, but then, like, when we actually finally got the talk, yeah, wow. Like, y'all just, it's helped me so much, and teaching me how to, like, scale it. Like, I actually, you know, I have the assistants now. I have the 3 assistants now who are sitting and waiting for artwork to do. So I've been apologizing to them the past week or so, just because there hasn't been much work. But yeah, it's super exciting, and it's awesome because now I don't feel that pressure to do what everyone else is doing, and I don't feel this pressure to also just completely break away and try to do something, you know, try to merchandise more and waste my time on all the passive income stuff. But
yeah, well, thanks for sharing that, because the main point that we always make is, like, it doesn't matter what business you're in. Like, if you're a photographer, an artist, if you're in any type of a business, the one learning experience I've had as an entrepreneur is, like, when you get traction somewhere, wherever that is, the market is speaking to you. You can't tell the market what you want. The market tells you what it wants. And when you got to understand, like, when you get that traction, you got to go after that, right? And you have to scale that as far as you can and get creative with it. What was that, Pat?
How hard it is to get.
It's so hard to get that when you get it, you got to go after it. And if you think creatively, you can scale that, and you can make your life better and easier. There's ways to do it. And so a lot of the times people psych themselves out and they're like, I don't want to be doing that. I don't want to be doing that. But there's actually ways to scale it if you really think it through. And if anybody else is in that position, definitely let us know, because we'll talk it through and we'll work on it. But thanks, Allie. It was good to see you.
Yep. Good to see you. Lamar, you're up next. Go.
Hey guys, how are you?
Lamar.
So I had a couple questions. I'll start with maybe the simple one. I put up my Mother's Day ad. I got a lot of response. I put it 2 days. and it reached 3,000 people, and I got 425 likes, and some of them following my Facebook account. But I'm checking my stats, and nobody's actually getting into my website. And I've been doing a lot of it. I get a lot of response. People love my work, blah, blah, blah. How do I transfer that into email so I can actually get them on there? And yeah, if you guys can help with that, it's the first question. You want me to get the second question?
No. Pat, did you want to take, I'm always looking like, do you want to, whenever it's like ads, Facebook ads type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, when you say you did great and you got a bunch of likes, like if the traffic is not translating into, coming back, then the likes are just BS metrics. Like Facebook and Instagram specifically are notorious for delivering a bunch of vanity metrics that mean absolutely nothing. And we see it all the time, and it's difficult. And, this is like a big picture conversation. It's hard for us as an organization. And like the Facebook ads thing that I shared earlier, and I might as well just go on this rant because there's no other way to do it. It is extremely difficult to make Facebook cold ads pay for anyone, not artists, not photographers, for anyone. There is a tremendous amount of tradecraft that goes into it. You have to have a sophisticated back-end marketing system set up. You're not going to usually get the ROI from the ad spend you have for months down the line. So you need to be cognizant of that. And it's why I put out a podcast that recommends you do not run ads to cold traffic, and that you only run ads to the warm traffic, because the system that I advocate in there forces you to get all of these various different things in place that would actually set you up for success to go after ads and cold traffic. But I get it. I'm not naive. It's like, here's this amazing machine that I can give money and it's going to give me a bunch of traffic back. And so everybody just defaults to saying, I just got to get going. I'm going to go after the cold ads. I'm going to do it. So we're kind of torn on what to do, us at Art Storefronts, like what to advocate, because it's really, really hard. It's really hard, especially just getting started, to have the perspective and know how long it's going to take for you to learn and get good results at Facebook. It's really, really hard.
Yeah.
So I would say, if you listen to the podcast, and if you go through the Facebook ads course that I have, even if you do decide, it's not like we can prevent you from running cold ads or anyone, or that we would ever even contemplate doing something like that. If you start with the warm first, you're going to be in a way better position than the cold. That's what I would say.
For everybody who doesn't know, because we get this question a lot, can you explain the difference between what cold traffic is versus warm traffic? Very big difference.
Yeah, the easiest way to describe it is people that know you versus people that don't. So warm traffic is anyone that you've met at least one time, or in the art world, you could say like anyone that's been to your store or anyone that's been into your gallery show, whether you had a conversation with them or not, they know who you are, right? They know who you are. They've seen your work. They understand you. That's warm traffic. Over here are people who have no idea who you are, that you're going to just meet for the first time. That's cold traffic, cold versus warm. And nobody's even doing the warm stuff correctly, which I covered in detail in that whole course. Like the whole thing's there, soup to nuts. So that's just, that is where I would advocate people start. And then also too, though, there's people that have hired John Lechner, and John Lechner's been running their ads, and some of them are saying they're getting good results. And so I have that as another kind of data point out there, which further complicates things, but we don't have all the answers on it yet, and we don't have it completely figured out. That's what I would say. I mean, Nick, what would you say?
Yeah, I think just as a business person, like, you should spend your money on warm as much as possible and see what budget you have left, because your warm traffic, these are people that are on your email list. These are people who have visited your site and have stayed on your site, right? So like we have a special conversion that we send to Facebook, and it's the conversion is called Find Location. You have to just use something that Facebook has. And what that conversion means is that the person came to your site and they stayed for at least 10 seconds, because you'll notice we've done these studies before. There's a lot of people that come to the site, especially from places like Facebook, when you're buying ads, that they'll come to your site and they'll literally hit the back button and they'll go right back. It's called a bounce. They look at what they see. It's not for them. They don't want it. Like it might've been like they clicked on it by accident and they bail. And so you don't want, like, all those people are definitely unqualified. So this conversion is going to catch the people that actually stayed on there and started looking at your stuff. And so at the very least, right, you want to show those people ads and people that are on your email list and people who maybe are followers on you on Instagram and Facebook. And because they're the most likely to convert. The reason they're the most likely to convert is because they're further down the sales funnel, right?
So
when we're talking about, go ahead.
So this is what you're talking about is going to get that has that information that you mentioned in the beginning of this conversation.
Yes,
At
in
that
Patrick's
seminar.
course, the whole thing is there.
Okay.
So
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, you want to do the warm targeting first, right? So they're further down the funnel, and it's a lot, especially like, you know, I think doing the warm, like whenever you're doing a holiday sale, right? Like Mother's Day or Black Friday or the fourth quarter, things like that. It's a great idea because these are people that they're in the middle of your funnel and you're just trying to make sure that they see your sale. They make sure that they see that these things are there because believe it or not, these people are not seeing it, you know?
Yeah, I understand. And also, you know, the MailChimp that I sent out for the people that I have on my list, I'm seeing very few are actually opening the email. So I send it, you know, I resend it again. So these are the warm people. So I'm just like trying to figure out what is going on, what is going to get those people that are warm to actually follow up.
Yeah. Consistency and staying the course. And yes, it is extremely frustrating. It's bang your head against a wall frustrating sometimes.
Yeah.
Like we have, just to give you the context, okay, we have like an 80,000 person email list that we built, okay? And sometimes we'll send an email and we'll get like, out of 80,000 people, we'll get like 90 clicks or 80 clicks, right? Like that's insane. That's terribly frustrating. But it has to be put in context with a broader thing. When you email as much as we do, as consistently as we do, as you have these other systems of marketing, collectively, it still becomes insanely effective. It becomes insanely effective. But this Facebook ad one is tough. But my official position, if I was an artist or a photographer trying to grow my business, I would start with warm traffic. I would master warm traffic. I would move up from there. But either way, you have to get these other sophisticated systems of marketing in, and you have to be doing them consistently to stand a chance at cold ads pain.
Yeah, if you're doing like cold marketing without paying for it, right? Then you're putting people into the funnel and then you're putting ads on them. That's just it's a way better use of your funds. Like the return on your investment on warm advertising is always going to be the highest. The cold is going to be very, very low, you know, at the end of the day. And so like Pat said, you're grabbing people like first introduction to L'Amour ever in their life, right? And they just saw your work. And so they're at the very top of the funnel. So the odds of them closing, it's going to take a while. And so you have to be able to make that investment into it. Yeah. And that's why I'm so critical about when anybody's doing it, you've got to watch your contacted conversion rate and make sure they're getting on your email list and they're opting in with the lead capture tool at best practices, because that's how you know whether they're real buyers, right? I've talked about this before. I'm just saying it again so everybody can hear it. Because otherwise, all you're doing is getting a bunch of likes and this what we call vanity traffic and vanity engagement.
Totally.
And they're not the right people. They're not qualified. They're never going to buy. So you got to get them to your site. They got to opt in, and that percentage has got to be as close to 5% or higher as possible. And if you can pull that off, then it's actually worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but that's, if it's not working and you haven't gotten it yet, then I would shut it off and just take a break from it. Go after, like, you should do the warm first though. But I'm talking about, let's say you've got the warm working already and you're going to go back to cold. If you can't get it to 5% on your own, shut it off and get a consultant. Okay. And John Lechner, the name we keep mentioning, John's been an Art Storefronts member for years and he's awesome. He's actually in Australia, but he's a photographer and he just executes really well. He does really well himself, but he's managing, he's started offering marketing as a service, doing the Art Storefronts marketing for people, whether it's ads or just doing like the art marketing calendar stuff. And I have no idea what his rates are, but we've allowed him to do it because there's a lot of people who just don't want to do it themselves. But Andy Crawford, another photographer on the platform, had mentioned last time that he has John doing his Facebook ads. And I think he's spending like $5 a day on cold and it's working really well. Like he's getting emails and, it's just a small investment, $5 a day. Like don't go to Starbucks and buy that latte. Obviously we can't do that right now, but put it into Facebook ads. And if it turns into emails,
Right.
then, you know, you're growing your email list.
No,
That's the
my
way I think about it.
conversion rate is above 5%. So it's been good, but it's based on how many people visit, and if people don't visit, it stays the same. So, but time goes by the same. But so my
Yeah,
other
and then you
question,
look at the cost per email. So I'm guessing your cost per email is actually high, right?
probably, yeah.
That you should look at that, right? Like, how much are you paying per email?
Right.
Because that's another thing. But it's, if you're at the point where you really want to do some Facebook stuff, it's worth, you know, you can try hacking at it and do it yourself a bit, but it's not a bad idea to have even like a guy like John, even for like a short-term engagement.
Right.
Like, hey, for a month or two, can you help me get this off the ground?
Right.
You know?
Okay. My other question was about the workshop that Pat did about the Instagram and how to go over to go find the correct groups and the movers and shakers Instagram. So I've looked through it yesterday. I spent a few hours, sat around with my kids, and they helped me out. And it was very difficult for me to find groups that fall within the age group that I'm talking about. You know, we were talking about 40 to 65 or something like this, because a lot of the people that use Instagram are younger.
Yeah.
And I'm going through, you know, and I'm finding those movers and shakers, and I'm looking at the stuff they put out, and it doesn't really connect to me to, oh my God, these are going to be buyers of portraits, custom portraits and stuff like that. People that post out a lot of images of themselves and their dogs and their families. Why would they spend money on commissions?
Well, you won't know until you try.
Yep. You're deciding the outcome before you've given it a shot.
No, I'm just trying to put my head into the customers of this curator, the influencer, and try to, am I going to be a person who would do this? I guess I have to try, but
yeah, you got to try, because the people that are like, when I if my habits on social media, I do not post anything, zero. I just consume content. That's it. There's actually an article that I read that said that like 99% of people on social media are what's the word? They're just content consumers. They consume, and only 1% actually publish, right? So if you're looking at the people who are publishing on there, you don't know who's actually like just watching and paying attention, like me. Like, I could be on the Golden Retriever group and you don't even know it, because I've literally never made a single post. You know what I mean? So if that's how you're looking at it, but I mean, what I will tell you is that like there's a Art Storefronts member, a gal who sells originals on Instagram like every week, like multiple, in like over, you know, $1,200, $1,800 every week. And so I've seen like the quality people who have money are on Instagram, right? So if like they're on there, they can afford it. It's, you know, so I would just say, just try a few and go from there.
All right. Thanks some more. Andy, you're up. Go.
Hey guys, first let me say, Nick, that I've got a blazing $2 a day on my
$2 a day. Do you
$2,
get
$2 a day, and that's all going toward my. I just checked the ads manager. That's John's got that set up, all going to my print giveaway, and you know it's within my budget. I actually cut that when you know my work shut down, and I've gotten 159 sign-ups since April 1st, and you know, we've got $1 a day and more marketing toward that giveaway. I mean, it's, and guys, I'm just going to tell y'all just a plug for John, who is probably still asleep because, you know, he's down under. I don't want to learn what he knows, you know, and so I want to spend my time on something else. And so honestly, for what I pay him, it's worth every dime. It's like the monthly fee for y'all. I get way more marketing than I could afford anywhere else. And so that's just a shameless plug for John. So I'm waiting to hear from John on his thoughts about this, but I've got, so far for 2021, I've got 2 calendars, a waterfall and a sunrise sunset calendar. And I'm planning on making a couple of more trips to the swamps locally and putting out a swamps calendar with images that have never been in one of my calendars. I've never set the world on fire with them, but John's got me sort of, I'm almost halfway to the $10,000 gross sales that he set as our goal for this year already. So he's got me sort of stoked up. I've got
I know he sold a lot of calendars.
He
so
sold
sure
a lot of calendars. Now
he sold a lot.
He does, yeah, like a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, he's working with Natalie, and she's got that really good gig going with the Aussie animals. But so I've already built the stores for the calendars. They're actually up on my website, on my gallery. But what I'm wondering is, John started last year, I believe he told me he started marketing Nat's calendars like in July or something. But they do pre-sales because they are doing, they buy inventory.
Right.
I'm actually doing print on demand with Lulu, and I'm selling them for $30 and I'm making $15 off of them. And so my question is this: what do y'all think in terms of when should I be looking at starting to really market and push them? I don't want to do it too early.
I would do exactly what he has done with it, because he's got so much experience on it that like the playbook is really like, if he started early and that really worked, like just do, I would just say, John, whatever you did, do it exactly for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I mean, he's yeah. He actually told me last year that he stopped pushing them so that they didn't get in the way of the Christmas print sales. And I'm like, dude, I don't really care if I make that much money off of calendars. I don't care. And so that was the question I had, is just, how do you leverage the calendars versus the print sales? Because, that's going to be all happening in Q4. And am I hurting myself having more than one calendar option?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think you'll do fine with them. I mean, it's a game of margins too, right? Like you have to sell a lot of calendars to make good money, a lot. There's the margin on prints is significantly higher, so that needs to be in the balance. I don't think a calendar sale cannibalizes necessarily a print sale. It might in some cases, but I don't think so. I don't have any problem with that at all.
I don't either. And I think you also can kind of alternate them too. And it kind of can keep things interesting,
Great upsell opportunity too. Anytime someone buys a print, try to get them on a calendar too. Like email them right after the fact. Say, oh, by the way, yeah, I would do that too. Okay, Mark, you're up next. Go.
Are we talking Mark Bergsman here?
Here we are indeed.
Okay, I knew there was other Marks in there, so.
Sorry, I forgot.
I just have a brief question. It has to do with the lead capture tool. I ran a print giveaway contest, and I set up the lead capture tool so that it would send out an email, automated email, like at a certain time. And I don't know if those get sent out or not. I haven't seen any been sent out, so it's kind of like, maybe I set that up wrong. I think what I did was I set it up so it'd start going out so many days before the end of the contest.
If I'm not mistaken, and you'll have to ask the tech team about this, they can look into that for you and test it. Okay, you can test it yourself too, just sign up for it. But I think you get a copy. Like you get blind copied when they get sent out, if I'm not mistaken. They may be going to your junk folder or something like that. I would take a look, but I believe you get copied on those, and so you'll see them going out.
Okay, well, I won't take up much more of your time right now, but I'll research it, maybe contact support.
Yeah, hit up the chat, and you can just ask them that question, and they'll look into it. and they'll check it. They can see if the emails were sent, or they can forward them to you, like they'll sign up and then forward it and then go from there.
Thanks, Mark. Okay. Thanks, Mark. Chris Nolt, you're up next. Go.
Hi, Nick. Hi, Patrick.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, I'm new here.
Welcome.
Landscape and wildlife photographer. I plan to launch my website here within a month or so. Cool. And first, I want to thank you guys for what you're doing. Keep up the good work. You're doing a great job. Yeah, appreciate it. I'm going to be doing this very part-time for the next few years. I've got a successful business, but I just need to get my photography out there. I'm passionate about it. And so I want to be very productive with the limited time that I have. I like what you said, Patrick, about mastering the warm traffic. One of my questions is with Facebook. Okay, I currently have a personal Facebook, and I'm wondering, should I start a business Facebook page or just use my personal one?
Yeah, you got to start a business page. You do, and that's what the ads account. Well, I mean, I guess you can tie an ads account technically to a personal page too, but long term, you should. You're rate limited on a personal page. It hits 5,000 friends, and then you're done. You can't grow any bigger than that. And so the business page can grow way bigger than that, obviously. And I love that you have a successful business on the side and you're starting this now, because it's even if you can just slow cook it a little bit, right? Like just a little bit of water in when you can, just a little bit of water in when you can. Momentum is still a powerful thing. I use this analogy all the time because we've seen this, Nick and I, sort of play out like multiple times, multiple ways in the last couple of years. Like we'll take a look at a new platform, right? And let's say we're doing a bunch of marketing on Facebook and we haven't really started Instagram yet, or we're doing a bunch of marketing on Facebook and we haven't really started Messenger or YouTube. And we'll just put a little bit of effort into it, margin effort, 10%, 6%, of marketing hours. Like let's say slow cooking the thing. And sure enough, here we are, COVID hits, where the only people who are being successful are the ones that have a massive attention and audience already. And we've got a great YouTube following and a great Instagram page. And we were just slow cooking them. It was just slow cooking them, pressure over time, just a little bit of water. So I think doing that, as opposed to saying like, okay, I've got a good business, I'm going to retire, then I'm going to start. I love the path you're taking. Love that. So I just want to affirm you on that. What is the other business? How many customers, clients are there? Do they know who you are? Because start leveraging them now. If they like you and they're in the market for art.
Yeah, I don't know if I want them all to know what I'm doing. I'm a financial advisor. So
got it. Yeah.
So, but getting back to Facebook, so start with a business Facebook, and then I'm going to follow your marketing calendar, do the new website giveaway. Yep. One question is about posting photos on Facebook. What is the best way to post photos so that they are protected? For one, I don't want to just put my JPEGs, my JPEGs on there. Is it best to just create a very low resolution image and watermark it, or what do you recommend there?
Yeah, I would not be worried about it. This is my personal opinion. I would not be worried about it in the slightest. I don't think you're going to get ripped off. I don't think you're going to get plagiarized. I don't think it's going to be put in anything. I think that whole concern is unfounded, and everyone seems to know somebody. Everyone seems to have a story that like they've lost thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars of revenue because someone downloaded an image off Facebook. I think it's complete BS. That being said, I understand the sensitivity. I would keep the resolution. You can shrink down the size a little bit, but I wouldn't do crappy resolution. Keep the resolution high. Just throw the watermark on there if you're concerned. That's what I would do.
Okay. If I'm only going to do, let's say, one thing, what would you recommend?
If you were
marketing.
Yeah.
Do you have any existing like list at all? Are you literally starting from scratch, Chris, in terms of the
starting from scratch? I mean, I've got my Facebook, friends, and so I'll start there. Yeah.
And what kind of landscapes are you said landscapes and something else. What was it? Wildlife. Okay. Yeah. So Pat, you go ahead first.
Yeah. So I would start the Facebook business page. If you know Facebook and you're comfortable with Facebook, that's probably a great place to start. I would start posting on the personal page, and every once in a while link them back to the other page, and just keep building that page, keep building your email list. And everything that we advocate in the marketing calendar is a good idea. Instagram, you could say it is a good bet too. I mean, rather than focus on like one individual platform, I think a little bit of water in each of them, according to our best practices, is probably the best way to go. That's what I would do. I mean, all of them will take some time to slow cook. And Facebook and Instagram at a minimum, I would say.
And as far as my personal Facebook page, then how do I interact or integrate my personal with my business.
Yeah, you just share an image, you post it on your business page and then share it on your personal page every once in a while. Don't.
And they'll all start moving over there over time.
Yeah, and don't beat your friends over the head or feel like you need to do that. But you can do a little announcement for the business on your personal page and just say, hey, here's my business page if you want to follow the photographs. But the general rule of thumb is just mention it, frequently, right? Just mention it frequently in all these other venues you're in, and bit by bit it'll start growing.
So do I do the new website giveaway on my business page, or should I do that on my personal?
I would do it on both. I would do it on both. That's a big announcement. So, hammer both with that.
Okay. All right. Well, I've got more questions, but I don't want to take up too much time. So
while your business page is still growing and like you haven't like fully siphoned over like enough, you still need to leverage the people you have, right? On your personal. The other thing too, Chris, is that people tend to fall into like, there's like two outcomes that we see generally from people that are just starting out in your position, right? With their existing friends and family, because everybody launches, if they're just starting out, usually they don't have an email list, they don't have anything to leverage yet. So it's just their friends and family. There's one group of people who their friends and family are like qualified buyers, you know what I mean? And they get sales from their website giveaway, and they get a bunch more emails, and it really just kind of starts snowballing from there. And then there's other people who their friends and family, it just there's nothing there, right? They're not really interested. They're not the right clientele. And so even you're not getting the shares, and whoever they share it with is not going to other, qualified people as well, as we would say, right? And so you'll have to see what happens after you do that. And if after you do that, you don't see the results, then what you're going to want to consider doing is then stepping into plan B, which is this workshop that we did on Tuesday and Friday. Tuesday was like a specific deep dive into one part of it, but last Friday's workshop is the one that you're going to want to do. You're going to want to see.
Is that the curators?
What's that?
Is that the curators?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because that's what that's going to do, is that's going to allow you to fish in some new ponds and find people who are actually emotionally connected with your subject matter. Like you're going to want to do that anyway. Like that's like, if you're feeling like, ambitious and you really want to start generating leads, and getting, start building, like that's what you're going to want to do anyway. Like during this time when you can't get out to shows or do anything like that. And so, I would watch that and I would start dabbling with it potentially, right? Like while you're, just here and there, maybe contact, one or two or a couple in a week, see if anything works there, try it again in a couple of weeks, try some other ones. But because
there are groups. I live in Montana, and so there's groups, people that love Montana, and so I can post to those.
Yeah,
and
watch the one on Tuesday. Pat did a deep dive on searching out these groups and influencers on Facebook, on Instagram and Facebook. It was phenomenal, and I'd highly recommend that, because when you have specific things like wildlife that you can target, like you've got an ocean of opportunity there. And we went into it in depth. So I would grab those resources. Let's make sure they're in the show notes. But when I was showing earlier, if you go to the art marketing calendar to either of those days, they live on there. The workshops live on there. So you can, click on the link there and just bookmark them. But that's how I would be thinking about, your launch here and where you go, after you run your giveaway.
And then just quick question, asking for a friend. Any stress going on in your business right now? Any stress? Any crazy phone calls? Don't answer that. I already muted you.
Not panicking. One last question. This is real quick. Is I wanted to offer the panel art, the split panel type stuff on my website, but it sounds like you're working on automating that. Is that true? And if you are, I think I would just wait until it's more automated.
Yeah, I wouldn't wait, because it's really easy to do. Like it's easy to set up, and when those polyptychs and triptychs and type of things don't sell like that frequently. So when you get an order for one, all you have to do is just go into your site manager in the self-made order section, and you just manually place the order. It takes like 30 seconds to do that, or you know what I mean? So, and then it gets automatically fulfilled. So You just place an order for the individual pieces of it, right? Yeah, we've got a tutorial on it, but essentially what you do is like you have like a standard store, and then you just upload the individual pieces of that polyptych, the high resolution ones, and nobody will see it on your site. It's literally just like inventory, you know, like you're just looking at like warehouse inventory. And then in the self-made order section, you can search for it, for those images. You know, you just name them so that you can find them, and you just go boom, 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 and then you ship it to the customer, and you're good to go.
Okay, Jenny McGee, you're up next. Oh, you had one last question, Chris.
That's okay. Go ahead and move on.
Okay, thanks. All right, Jenny.
Chris, the tech team can help you with any of that technical stuff set up on your website or the self-made orders. So make sure to ping them if you need any help with that.
Yep. Jenny McGee, you're up. Go.
Hey guys.
Hey Jenny.
Hey, I have a quick question about well, a couple of questions, but I'll try and get it down to one just to save time.
Wait, so you went live on Facebook and Instagram at the same time?
Yeah.
Yes. Love
you guys
it.
totally taught me how to do that. Thank you.
Good job. Love it.
Instagram not getting so much viewership, but Facebook I am getting a ton, and I've already made 2 sales, and that has been really exciting.
Nice.
Love
it.
And
from the lives, you're saying from the lives?
Yes, from the lives. Like,
look at that. Look at that.
It's amazing. That's how the market is speaking to me right now. Like, it's totally connecting me with the people that I love near and dear and who have been a part of my Facebook for years. And what's incredible is that they're sending me their views that are meaningful to them. It is speaking to values that they hold. I get to transform that and create that in a piece of artwork that then they get to see from start to finish. So there's already like this emotional connection in this relationship happening.
Wow.
Yeah. And then they're like buying it, and it's so exciting. And so that is a huge win. It's working for me. I'm looking at my funnel though on my website for my prints. And I feel like there's clogs, and I wondered if you wouldn't mind helping me look at that.
Sure. Can you tell? Oh, actually, I'm gonna have to look you up in the back end. Hang on a second.
Why he's doing that? So you use the cell phone for Instagram, and then did you use your laptop for Facebook, or do you use someone else's phone to go live on at the same time?
I stole my husband's phone,
Got it.
he let me borrow it for an hour and a half, and so I have 2 tripods set up, one with my phone and then one with actually one tripod. Today I did 2 because the one tripod was balancing both phones, and then totally tipped it over. We had a
I have, and it's like
uh-oh, we're getting to our time limit here. We're almost at the 2-hour mark, Pat. No, the kids start coming in on his end and on my end. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen.
Things like
okay.
$20 on Amazon.
Because the lives are rocking right now, this has rabbit trailed me to think about YouTube. But that's a whole nother question I can ask at a whole nother time, if that's a worthwhile trail.
Yeah, I mean, generally, like wherever you have traffic is going to be the best right now. But because you're doing so well with all of this, just like Pat was just saying to Chris, you know, like start watering these things, right? Like you're not gonna start out with much, but you might as well take your videos and get them onto a YouTube channel. You know what I mean? Like everybody that's doing lives, like you do the live, you know, in my opinion, like I obviously tell our team this, like I'm pushing them on it. Like we're not doing these lives to like waste our time to have them just disappear in 24 hours, right? Like do a live, you know, download it, upload it to Instagram TV, upload it to Facebook, right? It's another post, and upload it to YouTube. And now you just shoehorned one, and you can even email it out too. You've shoehorned one piece of content, you know, on 4 broadcast mechanisms, you know?
So that's the thing. When Instagram does live, it disappears in 24 hours, and there's not a way for me, like
workshop tomorrow.
Workshop tomorrow.
Okay, perfect.
Also, just as a final, you need 1,000 subscribers to
make money.
No, to go to YouTube live.
Right.
You can't do a live broadcast on YouTube until you have 1,000 subscribers.
Gotcha.
I'm just checking out your homepage. I just want to see if I see anything strange.
Okay.
Nothing strange. Everything best practices. Actually. Oops, I clicked the wrong cookie button. Oh, this window's in the way. Hang on.
And I'm going to add prints of these new windows onto that main screen too, because maybe the buyers will want prints of those.
How many images do you have total? Like if you had to guess?
100.
Because you might actually fit in the 100 rule. These are awesome.
Thanks.
These are really, really cool. Yeah, you might fit in the 100 rule. Have you heard about the 100 rule that I've been talking about?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you have 100 or less images, or roughly around that amount, you're probably better off on your homepage only, just putting everything on it in order of like bestseller or most popular, whatever you can do, the best way you can figure that out, right? And the reason is because every one of these clicks here is a new page load. You know, the person has to load a new page, and then they got to go back to go click on another one and so forth. And if you go to your website on the desktop or on the phone and you do this yourself, you'll realize that there's a lot of work involved and it takes a lot of time to kind of view everything. And I always show this, like if we go back to your visitor stats here, I'll just do the last 30 days. But the average visitor, we're going to look at like the average time on site. So look at this right here. So your Facebook referral is only spending 9 seconds average, okay, in the last 30 days on your site.
Right.
Okay. That's why, I mean, that's another signal that it's not the highest quality of traffic that's come in. That's why your lead capture, your lead capture is really low on that one, right?
Okay. Right.
This is pretty phenomenal right here. This, just on a side note, like your Facebook ads. Pat, look at this. Can you see it? Are you there?
The cold or warm?
I can't see if Patrick had to step. Oh no, you are there. The cold. Look at it. Look at these lead capture stats on her cold traffic.
Yeah, you know who I'm working with, right?
Oh, you're working with John?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go. There's another plug for John. Look at Andy. He almost just fell out of his chair. Pat, I don't know if I don't have any audio on you if you're there. Mm-hmm. Oh, there you are. Okay. Anyways, so like you look to be a good candidate for this, Jenny.
Okay.
I mean,
Everything.
making it. This is fascinating. They're making it to your. Okay, so you're probably linking them directly to a piece, right? Like when you're doing on Facebook.
It's a giveaway.
It's a giveaway. So yeah, that's interesting. But they're leaving real quick.
Yep, they're not staying.
Yeah. So this is actually probably, see, this one's lower here, 318 visitors, but 12.5% are only making it to the product page. That's what concerns me there. That's what concerns me. Your direct is not bad. I think in the Art sales funnel checklist, where is that? Why is that not linked right here? Hey, Marco, can we get an internal note that we need to link the Art sales funnel checklist on here? I gotta be missing it. Maybe it's here.
It should be 5% or higher.
Yeah, well, there's one for the product buying page conversion rate. Okay.
Oh, right.
And I wanted to check on what that one was. In fact, why don't we just go find it real quick? I'm going to go to the marketing resource vault, and oh, it should be in the checklist right here. Art sales funnel checklist. All right. So funnel stage, product buying page conversion rate. I'm going to click on that. Take me down there. So minimum 40%, healthy 50%. Okay. So you are at the 40 on the direct. That's pretty good. Okay. So like, I wouldn't be concerned about that. I don't love this. I'm thinking that, that you may benefit by doing this strategy, right? But it's your call. It's up to you. You could try it. What you can do, what I always recommend is don't delete this page, right? You just create a new product gallery page and just add all your images on it and sort it, right?
Okay.
And then once that's ready, make it your homepage and then turn the other one off. Just hide it, right?
Okay.
And so if you could have it for like a month or two and then mark the date on your calendar, like on your own personal, like, calendar, like you should have like kind of a marketing log. You can do it in like wherever you take notes, things like that. But mark the date that you did it, and then start comparing the before and after on that Facebook traffic and your as well as your direct, right?
Direct.
But,
okay.
Yeah, but make sure you've got like at least 500 or more visits, to before you can kind of make the call on it, right? But
okay, direct visits,
direct and Facebook. Like these two, just watch it. Just watch these, It's basically any traffic that you're really driving to the homepage, you want to watch that and see if, if what's happening, like, because what could be potentially happening is they're going to your homepage and they see these 4 categories, they click on one, they don't find what they like, and they're like, all right, and they go back and maybe they look in one more and then they're gone, right?
Yeah, click fatigue.
Yeah, they get some fatigue. If you do it yourself, I always encourage everybody, like, do it yourself. Like, and you'll notice, like, how long did it take you to see all of your images? And then do what I said. You will literally be like on your phone or on your desktop, and you're like, oh my goodness, I just saw my entire catalog in 15 seconds.
Cool. Yeah, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, and so less clicks, less page loads, less work for the visitor is always good. There's no rule. I can't tell you exactly what to do. But generally, when I'm approaching this, or when our team is approaching stuff like this, that's kind of the general guidelines, Do it yourself and you will notice like, whoa, could I make this easier, right?
Feels better.
So that doesn't mean that you should change anything in you should keep these pages, right? Because if somebody hovers over this, you want these nice categories here, right? It's only referring to your homepage, right? Your homepage might break all the rules. So like another example is, you could group things like, see, you have Mizzou fan art. And so you've got some extra categories on here. Coffee and tea that doesn't exist on your homepage.
Right.
So there's also like, what I was going to say is that for other people that are listening, like, when like on your homepage, you might want to group things a little bit more generally, so that if you do have categories, have the maximum amount of number of images in them as possible, right? So some people might have like if somebody has like 500 images, they might be like, okay, I'm gonna have 3 categories, or maybe I have 5 categories, but they all have 100 images. All you're doing is just, you're limiting the amount of page loads and clicks, even though you've got a catalog of stuff to go through. Does that all make sense though?
Yep. Think minimal clicks as possible.
Think minimal clicks, minimal page loads, and do it yourself and experience it and play with it, right? And you'll come up with something that you're like, okay, I like this. Like, I like the categories that I have, if you have any at all. Like, you might not want any, but if you have to have them, you're like, okay, this is not that bad. If they click on like 3 things, they've seen everything very, very quickly.
Thanks, Jenny. Connie, you're up next. Go.
Thanks. Yeah, so I am currently retired and just started with your program. I'm a retired nurse, and the hospital that I worked for 35 years is building a new one in my small town, and it's linked to a huge healthcare system throughout the state. And
they're going to outfit it with all of your art, right?
That's right. That's what I want to do.
That's right.
So I've been thinking about it for probably 1.5 years, and I just can't get to where I know what to do. So that's part of it. But the other part of this story is that I got recently a phone call from a friend in the hospital who said, we love your blog. We would like to use it, because I use my audience because of my wellness background. My blogs are about wellness and connection to nature and each other and that sort of thing. So I can use my images being a photographer. So she wants to use my blog as part of their wellness image or their wellness messages that they're sending out to their, I don't know, 6,000 employees. So talk about warm traction, as you were speaking of recently. I feel like this is a great opportunity and I really want to do it the right way. So what she offered in return to sharing my message is to, of course, credit me for the blog. But what would be the best way for me to do this so that I can drive sales to my site? That's number one. And number two, how do I go about translating this into my art being on their walls?
Well, number one, use your hospital connections to find out who the purchasing manager is. I recommend a long and boozy lunch, 2.5 to 3 hours from white wine. That usually gets it done. I would certainly start warming that person up immediately. I mean, given your long history there and incredible art, I'm thinking at least a minimum 2 floors. Maybe you'll take a lobby and a floor and a half, 2 floors. I don't know. But that's totally where I would start. Other than that, I love that they love your blog. That's fantastic. All you want to do is just link all those photos on your blog back to your website and talk about it all the time. You can't do any better than that.
Okay.
Get them back to your site with the lead capture tool on with best practices. You know what I mean? So that they can get on, so you can get them on your email list.
Capture leads on the blog too.
Right, capture leads. So that's the one that I already have on there, right? The first.
Yeah.
You know,
The lead capture will pop on there too.
Right, right.
Yeah, so if you get them back, then like like Pat said, number one goal, get them back to your website. So if they're sending out an email, you want to get them back to your site. If you could run, like maybe see if they'd run a giveaway, you know, to all of the employees, you know, you want to give, they won't do it?
Boy,
Okay.
they're really strict against that sort of thing. So that's why I feel like I have to kind of go a little bit backdoorish.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're doing it because your content's that good. That's why they're doing it.
Hopefully. And so the other piece that I noticed on ASF is the ability to create a catalog. Is that something
like a printed catalog?
Yeah, is that something that would be useful in terms of contacting their art purchaser?
Yes. So let's talk about that for a second. So number one, when you're going to contact any type of like person, it's called a DM, the decision maker. You need to find the decision maker. Okay. So whoever knows who that is, do you know who it is yet?
I don't.
Okay. So you have to navigate and find the DM, right? And so that's the first thing. And then the second thing is once you get them, you know, yes, you could print out a catalog and give it to them. They could easily just go to your website as well. You could start with the website. You could go meet with, like, you should definitely try to get a meeting, right? And bring your stuff.
Right now.
What's that?
Well, that's pretty hard to
Oh,
meet.
yeah, you can't do that right now. So you'll have to do it. You could do a Zoom meeting.
Could do a Zoom meeting.
You could do a Zoom meeting, exactly. And you can show your stuff, you know what I mean? And then make sure that you give them an amazing deal, right? Like that you still love, right? Like, I mean, we always tell everybody when you're, you know, price your artwork so that you can discount it and you don't care, you know what I mean? So like, because you're going to discount it, like to get, to get people to take action. That's what gets people to take action, but you want your profit margin to be there, right? But this hospital, you're associated with it. And so you want to give them like a great incentive to do it so that they're like, wow, you know, like, look, you know, we love her blog and, you know, everybody loves her blog. And like, that's the meaning behind her artwork, right? Or her photography. And, you know, she's going to give us a great deal to kind of outfit the hospital. Like, that sounds like a really, I mean, that's the best you can do. That's the best you can do.
Excuse me. So this catalog.
If we think the decision maker is in the hospital and has an office in the hospital, I would grab my vest piece, throw on some of my protective gear that I know you probably still have, walk right in there, after hours, hang it on her wall, little note on the table, just say, thinking of you and really respect all the work you're doing, and then leave. So that's what I would do. Whatever it takes to start getting in there. Whatever it takes.
That's a great idea. So,
yeah,
so back to the catalog thing, is the catalog something that you can publish on your website? Of course, not published for public eye, but that you could send a link to this decision maker. Can I do that?
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. I mean, I feel like you'd be better off just sending them to your homepage if your homepage is properly set up. because it's just easier to navigate, but you can absolutely like export the catalog PDF and do that. I just think that it just wouldn't be as good of an experience, you know?
Right.
Because it's just like they can search on your website, they can see related products. You've got it already organized the way that you want it, like with bestsellers and things like, you know, or most popular in your categories. Like I would probably send them there first, but what I would try to do though is, you know, everything that I said there is like, have a professional, like offer made ready to go when you get this decision maker, right? I'm not talking about like a document. I'm not talking, it's like just an email, but you don't want to be like, hey, here's my website. And then like, you know, and then a week later email 2 is like, hey, I was thinking maybe I might be able to help you guys. You know what I mean? It's like, you go in with your like, okay, here's my website. Like, you know, I'd love to show this stuff to you. I have a connection with this hospital with the blog. If they make sure they know about that, if they don't know about that, they may not, you know, that's me.
Develop that first.
What's that?
Develop the blog piece first. And
well,
then...
yeah, have that going, right? And like, at least one of those has gone out. So you can show this person, like, you guys are sending out my blogs and I would love, you know, to like help you guys like do, you know, get some great art in the new hospital, you know, and you should just offer, like, be really offer your own creativity on that, right? Like, I'd be more than happy to help you with any decisions you're making. And I'd love to have you guys consider my art. And because I know you guys, I'm going to give you 20% off of everything to try to save you money to get you the best stuff, you know? And so if you have that ready to go for that decision maker in one swoop, it makes it really easy for them to just like digest it, and they know you're there, and now you're in the game. You're part of their, you know, you're part of their potential options for getting that done. And I think that's the best you can do to start out. From there, it's all relationshiping. Like, if that person is like, oh my goodness, I love your stuff, and you can sense that, then you probably want to make sure they get something for free. You know, give them a free print. You know, offer to take them to lunch and like show them a bunch of stuff, or do a Zoom call or whatever it is, but try to grease the wheels as much as you can so that you get the order.
Awesome.
Thanks, Connie.
That's how I would approach it.
Good. Definitely keep us up to date on that one.
Yeah. Keep us up to date on that, Connie.
All right. Loveless Duo, you're up next. Go. Loveless Duo? No? I kind of wanted to get to the bottom of this name.
I was thinking that too.
Okay.
We'll give it 5 more seconds. 5 more seconds for Loveless Duo. And then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Pat, let's leave it there. Another good session.
Yep, thank you. Again, I will, I'll get to work on, I mean, come on. It's awesome. I mean, this thing is hilarious.
It's pretty amazing how well that works. Like, that thing is wrapping its paws around your head, or it was.
It is. I mean, I could just not shave and rock this one. I mean, there's just so many ways I could go with it. Yeah, Gary and Pat. Gary, I see you laughing. Now I've got you out bearded. I love it. All right, guys. Instagram Live tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. Same time, same channel.
Yeah, going through the Instagram playbook deep dive for the lives. So that'll be great. All right. Good to see everyone. Take care.